Hello, welcome to your average Dark Knight Rises rant. If you were to look at IMDb or Rotten Tomatoes, you may think that The Dark Knight Rises is a perfect sequel to The Dark Knight. But in reality, it is the worst Batman movie. Let me explain in this video. Chapter 1, Batman. Batman in this movie is a hermit, for some reason. And he also doesn't really feel like Batman the entire movie. And for a large chunk of it, Robin's just like, yo, actually do something with your life. Can you tell this is unscripted? Most of my videos are actually unscripted, but still, whatever. Robin's like, by the way, such a stupid name. He's like, Bruce, do something with your life. And he's like, nah. And then when he finally becomes Batman, Bane breaks his back, and he has to relearn how to be Batman. What? What? We're still in like the first minute of the video. What? Why? So you just, like, already it's kind of bad knowing that this has already, I feel like, done some stuff that has already been used in the first two. But they're literally copying beats used already in Batman Begins with him becoming Batman. And then they redid that earlier in this movie. And then they made him learn to be Batman again. What is... Oh, calm down. Yeah, but the rest of Batman in this movie is honestly just kind of boring, since then his back gets unbroken somehow. And then he comes back, and then the ending happens, but the ending is a whole meta thing that I'll save for later in the video. Chapter 2, the other characters. Let's talk about the other characters. Alfred just disappears at the beginning of the movie. He's like, Master Wayne, I have to go now. I quit because, you're a hermit now. Oh boy, I love how they made Bruce Wayne a lazy hermit. And you can't just get rid of Alfred like that. And I know there's a lot of people who are like, wait, but Alfred overall, aside from the Dark Knight trilogy, isn't really that major of a character. Which is true, yes. But here's the thing. Aside from the Dark Knight trilogy, but this is the Dark Knight trilogy, Alfred undoubtedly, especially in The Dark Knight, has had some of the most iconic lines in this entire trilogy. So it's kind of weird just write him off like that. And it's not just Alfred. A lot of other characters get written off like this. For example, Commissioner Gordon. Commissioner Gordon's another amazing character from this trilogy, who, aside from this trilogy, is a minor character, if we be honest. But again, unlike Alfred, who gets written off, he just barely appears. And let's be honest, Robin becomes the new main police force character, unlike Commissioner Gordon in the first two movies, which feels weird, since this third movie, overall, with the characters, feels so departed. And also, what happened to Lucius Fox? Maybe I just forget, but Lucius Fox wasn't even, mentioned, which at first I probably would have written a whole thing about how at least Alfred and Gordon at least got to appeal, but at the same time, I feel like Lucius Fox kind of got the perfect ending in The Dark Knight. But I feel like the problem with it is that if he was the only character who was removed, it would have been fine, but knowing that he was removed, and then also Alfred and Gordon are barely in the movie, then I feel like that just all adds up to being bad. And wonder who they replace him with? Robin. And yes, I know, well, why don't you call him John or something? You won't even remember him as Robin. And why'd they name him Robin? Really? Come on. You couldn't name him Dick Grayson or Tim Drake. Really, you named him Robin. And he's an annoying little brat that no one will ever love. And he ends up becoming Batman. It'd make more sense if someone it doesn't make sense for him to become Batman. Like, if they would have written him if they would have like changed his name to Dick Grayson, and then like instead of making him whiny and annoying, they made him an actual good character, then him becoming Batman would feel satisfying. But it's not. Oh boy, and we know that if there was ever a fourth Dark Knight movie, then they probably would have copied. Oh no, someone has to learn how to be Batman for the fourth time probably. Oh, the Dark Knight, the best movie out of these three movies, is the only one that didn't copy this stupid thing. But to make up for it, I guess the Dark Knight Rises felt like they had to just do it twice. God. Oh, man. Yeah. But these two chapters don't even scratch the surface of my biggest problem with this movie. For you see, my true biggest problem with this movie is the villains. Chapter 3, the villain. Bane sucks, okay? And there are also some psychopaths who somehow think that Tom Hardy Bane is better than Heath Ledger Joker. Let me play a clip.
I'm a fire in my labor.
Bane posting. Okay, this might be a little bit of a controversial opinion, but I think The Dark Knight Rises is the superior Christopher Nolan Batman movie, okay? People say Joker is a better villain than Bane, but I disagree, okay? I think those people are just NPCs, alright? They're just bots. They can't think for themselves. That being said, I think we can all agree that the dialogue at the very beginning of the movie between Bane and Peter Baelish was a little bit awkward.
If I pull that off, will you die?
It would be extremely painful.
You're a big guy.
For you.
Well, I do agree with, the dialogue at the beginning of the movie being not too good. I mean, I don't really like the dialogue of this entire movie. By the way, Batman, what happened to his voice? Same with Bane, terrible voice. But still, I do not get how people could think it's better. Bane has a stupid mask or stupid voice. It makes no sense. Catwoman just feels misused, like, Catwoman is literally mediocre. Oh yeah, and then there's Talia al Ghul. But I'll save her for later when I talk about the ending, since she is a whole nother thing to rant about. Chapter 4, the story. Alright, so the story for The Dark Knight Rises is, for most of the movie, I already mentioned it during the first chapter with Batman, but this is really should be called the ending. But I just wanted to have a chapter called the story. The ending. So, I clarify the ending for this movie to begin when Talia appears. And it's all revealed that it was all Talia's plan. What? So, in my opinion, this is actually worse than Bane in Batman and Robin. Because these in Batman and Robin, you don't expect Bane, you don't expect Bane to actually, be an important player. No, at least from the beginning, you know that he's just Poison Ivy's goon. But for most of the movie, you think, they trick you into thinking, oh, Bane's the mastermind. This is actually cool. Even though this isn't actually Bane because he doesn't have his venom. And also, it worked with Ra's al Ghul. I think that's his name, and I forgot what his name was. I'm just gonna call him Ra's. Worked with Ra's al Ghul without him having the Lazarus Pit, since that was really the only important Ra's thing missing. Bane, he didn't have his mask, he didn't have his voice, he didn't even have the same race. He's usually like Altino or something along those lines. Not just straight Tom Hardy white. What? Again, that makes no sense. This is barely Bane. Literally, if you change the name, this would have nothing to do with Bane. Literally. And everyone would just think of this as an original character. But still, Talia al Ghul gets introduced, and she's out of nowhere. She makes no sense, and it just feels out of nowhere, and then she dies. So, whatever. Then Batman takes the jet, and the bomb explodes, and he dies. And at first I was like, wow, they just killed Batman. That is honestly a very cool thing that I did not think that they had the balls to do. Then at the end, I saw Alfred eating, and Batman was alive with all bad. What? I'm sorry. What? How? I'm sorry. Number one, how could Catwoman escape? But that's not even. How in dear God name did Batman somehow escape? And listen, I hate dream theories, but this one isn't even a full dream theory, and I honestly believe that Alfred was just seeing things, okay? Because how did he get...
But he's arranged for police presence as well.
So that when someone walked away, he disappeared. How did Batman somehow survive that explosion? That's impossible. Alright. I'm sorry. I just hate this ending, and I think it would have been better if they just had Batman stay dead. You know? I don't know. I just hate this movie so much. This movie, in my opinion, ruined The Dark Knight. But now it's time for the conclusion. Chapter 5, the end. In conclusion, I personally believe that The Dark Knight Rises is the worst Batman movie. Alright, let me go through some of the most hated ones. Batman Forever is goofy, silly fun. Same with Batman and Robin. Unlike The Dark Knight Rises, which is an unbearable long while. And then also, Batman v Superman, while I also hate that movie, I also think, isn't as bad as The Dark Knight Rises. Catwoman is also ferocious, but it also has an ironic enjoyment. And then the most recent one that I only recently included, since I just watched this movie a couple days ago, Joker Folie à Deux. Yes, it is a terrible movie, although I don't think it's too bad, and I am on the fence of it being a cash grab. Don't expect a review of it. I'm just gonna give my quick thoughts. Joker 2. Joker 2 is not... Joker Folie... I was just calling it Joker 2. Joker 2 is not a very good movie. I'm not a big fan, although I don't think it's a cash grab. Although, then again, maybe it is. I just think that Joker 2 was an overall bad decision, I'm not gonna make an entire video about it. Anyways, yeah, but even then, I can see something out of Joker 2, but I do not get why people are such big fan of The Dark Knight Rises. And in my opinion, you know about how massive Green Arrow fans always hate Arrow? The thing that I don't get is about how those no Bane fans who hate The Dark Knight Rises. Hey, seriously, why? Because let's be honest, if you're an actual fan of the real Bane, this isn't the real Bane. So I don't get it. Well, anyways, I hope you guys enjoy this video. I promise my next couple of videos will be bigger. It's just that I need to have a quick one here. But anyways, goodbye, and I hope you guys have a good night.